Good evening, everyone, and welcome to GameCenter 40 for Tuesday, February 25th, 2020, and here are tonight's stories. The Venetian government has halted public gatherings for 3 weeks due to the outbreak of the coronavirus there, which has caused filming on Mission Impossible 7 to be delayed. Paramount released a statement to the press about the coronavirus-caused delay, saying that out of an abundance for caution for the safety and well-being of our cast and crew, and efforts of the local Venetian government to halt public gatherings in response to the threat of the coronavirus, we are altering the production plan for our 3-week shoot in Venice. The delay, while a problem for tourists, won't be a problem for Paramount, as it intends to keep the summer 2020 window for their new movie. Koji Kenjo's new game, Synaptic Drive, will be coming to the PC and the Nintendo Switch on May 28th. The game will take place in a futuristic world's online game with people using guns, wires, and trackers to chase down their opponents. There will be more than 10 types of bodies to choose from and over 100 weapons with more battle arenas. The ever-changing tactics. The game will be getting updates after launch for free and will be a simultaneous international release. Hideo Kojima and Eric Johnson of Kojima Productions have canceled PAX East appearances after Sony and Square Enix pulled out due to coronavirus fears. Kojima Productions plan to do 2 panels called Death Stranding's Design Philosophy and AI Summit. Death Stranding and AI Postmortem. Both would have explored the challenges that the game underwent to get from a concept to a fully playable game. The second one mentioned also delves into the advancements of AI in general. It is unknown when and if they will reschedule their panels for another gaming convention. Speaking of PAX East 2020 in Boston, the mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh, has written a letter to Shuei Yoshida, the CEO of Sony, pleading with him to reconsider the company's decision before the expo takes place, explaining that while Yoshida and Sony are concerned for the health and safety of the company's workforce, that these actions would reinforce harmful racist stereotypes that generations of people have worked hard to pull down. They trigger people's worst impulses to view others with suspicion and close themselves off, which makes everyone miss out on the opportunities that Boston would have provided, and that Sony itself has an opportunity to set a good example for being a large international company. Neither Yoshida nor Sony have responded to the letter. Grounding Inc. has announced that they will be bringing Japan's most popular virtual idol, Hatsune Miku, as downloadable content to theirs and Sega's game, Space Channel 5 VR. Kinda funky news flash. When she will be released is unknown, but the new game is expected to delight fans of the long-dormant series, even if they don't download Miku into their games. It is available in North America now, and it will be available everywhere else tomorrow. There is more to come here on GameCenter 40, your local weather, esports, and scores from Famitsu all around the areas of Japan, North America, Dover, Lewis, Salisbury, Queen Anne, Smyrna, Georgetown, Wildwood, Atlantic City, the Villas, Vineland, and the entire region of Delmarva and the entire South Jersey area. Bandai Namco has fought a numerous amount of trademarks for the following: Lost Cradle, Ring, and Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme vs. Maxibuston. Sega followed a new Sonic the Hedgehog trademark. Sony finally filed a PS5 trademark in Japan, and Akatsuki filed many trademarks for the title Tribe 9. Following cancellations of matches in China, then rescheduling them to be makeup matches in South Korea, and now Blizzard has been forced to cancel those as well as any matches in South Korea for the foreseeable future once again due to the coronavirus outbreak. We will be showing the ramifications of the cancellations in our esports segment a little later in the program. Things are not looking good for Bethesda's games as a service model. Nvidia lost all access to Activision titles last week, and now most of Bethesda Softworks games are lost on the list as well. There seems to be some sort of a licensing dispute between Nvidia and the two publishers. And Nvidia said in a blog today that this trial is an important transitional period where gamers, developers, and publishers can try the premium experience with minimal commitment while they continue to refine their offering, as the company has written. As we approach a paid service, some publishers may choose to remove games before the trial period ends. Ultimately, they maintain control over their content and decide whether the game you purchase includes streaming on GeForce Now. Nvidia said it expects these game removes to be few and far between. You can sign up for Nvidia's service now as it changes over. Microsoft has given the public the specifications to their new Xbox Series X console, which will be launching this next winter. It focuses on power and compatibility, having 12 teraflops of power with a custom processor based on RDNA2 and Zen 2 architectures. For twice the performance of the Xbox One X, also on the cards is VRS for variable rate shading, which can improve frame rates and resolution while prioritizing things to render on the screen. Claims of a cut-down load time due to a customized solid-state drive are common, but the real showstopper, Microsoft claims, is backwards compatibility with the full range of the Xbox Series. All the way back to the original Xbox, Microsoft will deliver more information as the year progresses. Toy will have a 2020 Manga Matsuri after all. The official website revealed that it will have 4 segments. Kamen Rider Den-O, Pretty Den-O appears. Fushigi Dagashi Zenitendo, Tsuritaiyaki, Recycle Zoo, Mamare Bokuyobi wa Shigenagomi no Hi, and The Book Detective Tento Mushi Iseki no Naze. These films will be in theaters on April 24th in various cinemas around Japan. And speaking of going to various cinemas around an everlasting country, let's take a look at the weather outside, shall we? Let's take a look at Rehoboth Beach out there. And as the waves come crashing down onto the beach, you could say it was a pretty good day today. So let's take a look at what the national weather has for us tonight. And we're bracing for a lot of rain and snow and got snow right to the northeast of New York and west of Pennsylvania, and we're all just getting all that rain as the cold fronts move through. And this, my friends, here's tomorrow afternoon. We see the front is coming through. It's splitting the rain apart, just like the Red Sea of Moses. Why the biblical reference? But hey, at least there's going to be an attempt to get all that rain back together tomorrow night. Thankfully, we won't be affected by it until sometime on Friday. Now let's take a look back out to Rehoboth Beach. We did not fade that, did we? Anyways, the Weather Center 40 says that our high temps were 39 today, the low temps 43, and currently in Dover and the suburbs it is both 48 degrees. The barometer 29.82 inches and rising, and 100% humidity. It's starting to get that fog out there. Winds are coming in to the north-northeast at 1 mile an hour. There are two advisories. You got a small craft advisory from 11 p.m. tomorrow to 6 a.m. on the 27th, and a gale watch from 6 a.m. on the 27th all the way until 6 a.m. on the 28th. Now let's see what we got for Dover tonight. Dover tonight will be foggy, low 43. The record high was 72 degrees. That was in 2017. And the record low was 11 degrees, reached 2 years earlier in 2015. For Dover tomorrow, we got showers in the PM, meaning we have sunny in the AM. High of 53. The sun will rise at 6:41 tomorrow and will set at 5:49 tomorrow evening. And now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. And whoa, I guess we caught Rehoboth in the middle of changing the angle of their cameras. And they suddenly moved it over to nighttime. Oh, I guess they made a fool out of me. All right. Tomorrow's PM showers, high 53, low 38. On Thursday, it'll be mostly sunny and windy, high of 43, low 27. Friday will be partly cloudy, high 44 and low 27. And Saturday is more of the same, high of 40 and low 24. On Sunday, all those clouds will clear out for pure sunny skies at 44 degrees and 27 for a low. Monday, the 2nd of March, it'll be partly cloudy, 47 and 36. And on Tuesday, we're going to have showers on Tuesday with a high of 57, low of 49 degrees. And coming up next, we'll have the esports segment. Famitsu scores, plus we'll tell you why they canceled all those events in South Korea. Stay tuned to GameCenter 40, your source for gaming information. And now it's time for esports. It's time to get you all throughout the Overwatch League. And we're about to tell you how well all the teams did in Week 3 on February 23rd and February 24th of 2020. Let's take a look at the scores, shall we? So for Week 3, we have the Philadelphia Fusion versus the New York Excelsior. And the Philadelphia Fusions won out 3-1. The Houston Outlaws and the Boston Uprising was the match coming up next. And the Boston Uprising managed to outscore the Houstons to 2-3. And the final match of the day, which was Washington Justice versus Paris Eternal. Paris managed to trounce Washington 3-1. And for February 24th's matchup, we have the Houston Outlaws versus the New York Excelsior. And Houston didn't manage to score anything, with the New York Excelsior beating them out 0-3. The final two matches of the day was between Philadelphia Fusion and Toronto Defiant. They were neck and neck with each other, but finally Philadelphia clinched the win 3-2. And it's another loss for Washington Justice versus the London Spitfire, which London managed to spitfire on Washington in a score of 2-3. Let's put the text disclaimer on. WTXN is not affiliated with Activision, Overwatch, Blizzard, or any other related entities. Now, there were originally more matches scheduled for today, but as we told you in the program earlier, Blizzard has canceled Overwatch League matches in China and South Korea. China's is from all of February and all of March, and South Korea's cancellations are from February 29th until March 22nd. These cancellations also included the makeup matches that were from the previous canceled matches in Week 2. John Spector, who was Vice President of Business Operations for the Overwatch esports community, stated that it wasn't a decision that they took lightly, but they didn't have a single conversation where player safety didn't come first. So far, all league games have been hosted in American cities by American-based teams. And now it's time to get to the Famitsu scores. We've got a bunch of them. We got a bunch of them this week. Well, we actually had a bunch of them last week, but this is what Famitsu scored last week for 10 various games from the various consoles. Let's take a look at all 10 of them. At number 10, we have Uoni Rises for the Nintendo Switch, with the reviewers giving it 5, 7, 7, and 7 for a total of 26 points out of 40. It's tied with Code Shifter for the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch, rated 7, 6, 6, 7, once again for a total of 26 out of 40. And once again we have another tie at Foxyland 2 at number 8 for PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and although it's not in the charts, the PlayStation Vita. Reviewers gave it 7, 7, 6, 6, once again for a total of 26 out of 40. At number 7, we have American Fugitive for the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. The individual reviewers gave it 8, 6, 7, and 7 for a total of 28 out of 40. Number 6, we have Senri no Kifu, the original Shogun Mystery for the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 4. Individually reviewed at 7, 8, 8, 7 for a total of 30 out of 40. At number 5, we have Bobble Bobble for Friends on the Nintendo Switch. Individually reviewed, they are 8, 8, 7, and 7 for a final total of 30 out of 40. At number 4, we have Cat Quest 2 for the Nintendo Switch, and all the reviewers gave it 8s for a final total of 32 out of 40. At number 3, 2, and 1, we have a three-way tie for first place. At number 3 is Lover Kiss for the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Individual reviewers gave it 8, 8, 8, and 9 for a total of 33 out of 40. At number 2, we have Frostpunk Console Edition for the PlayStation 4. The individual reviews were 8, 9, 9, and 7 for a final total of 33 out of 40. And at number 1, we have Reventure for the Nintendo Switch. Individually reviewed, it was 9, 8, 8, and 8 for a final total of 33 out of 40. And that's it. That is all for Game Center 40 tonight. I'd like to thank you for being with us. Coming up in a little while, 7 p.m. most likely, will be the gaming segment on twitch.tv. We'll have the link there in a few minutes. And for those of you who are leaving, thanks for being with us. Have a great night. This is WTXN TV 40 in Dover.